Hello, Percussion. This week we are diving into step 4 as we continue to explore the 8th note and the 8th note rest in week 8 of beginner percussion. Here we go. So guys, really we're not going to learn anything new this week, but rather we're just going to apply our knowledge of 8th notes to some different exercises in our Simple Steps book. We're going to be dealing mostly with step number 4, actually really only with step number 4 this week. There's a lot to unpack there. On page 12 we've got 6 problems right there. We'll also get into page 13 as well, the second page of step 4, where it starts to introduce 8th note rests into it as well. We've already dealt with that last week, though, with our 8th note exercises page. And so why don't you join me in playing and counting through first, number 1. Now, the really cool thing about this book, guys, is that you notice that he uses the Eastman counting system, where we use te instead of and, as well as our counting system, where we say and for our upbeats as well. And so you can use whichever one that your teacher prefers, but for us, we're going to use the and, like we said before, okay? And so let's begin by just counting number 1 first. We're going to look at that and see that it's in common time. We know that because there's a C there at the beginning of the page. And remember, common time is just another word for 4/4. That's 4 beats per measure. Quarter note gets 1 beat. Here's our tempo. Let's count this together. 1, 2, ready, and count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And now let's go ahead and air stick together as well. And we're just going to air stick and say the sticking. So let's do that right now. 1, 2, ready, go. Right, left, 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 right, left. And it is worth mentioning that we're going slow enough to where we can use downstrokes whenever we play this, because these quarter notes are pretty far apart, right? And if you think about it, in measure 1 especially, right, left, we're playing quarter notes and sticking right, left, which means that our right hand, per se, is playing half notes. So that means that we have plenty of time in between each right hand. And then next measure, we play 8th notes, right, left, and we've got plenty of time still in between each one of our right hands. It's still a quarter note worth of time, right? And so once we start to bump up the tempo, you can use full strokes for measures 2 and 4. But for right now, we'll stick with those downstrokes. Let's play that together now. 1, 2, ready, go. Let's hop over to number 2 now. So number 2 is in 4/4. Remember, that's just another way of saying common time. Those two are interchangeable. But this time we don't have the counts provided for us. And so a good idea is to make sure that before we go on to playing, as always, make sure that we count it correctly. Okay? But before we do that, I want you guys to look at measure 3. So follow along, point to the 3rd measure there. You're going to see some interesting sticking down there. And what I love about what Ken Wiley does here is that whenever there is a certain important sticking pattern that falls under one of our rudiments, he will italicize it, bolden it, and also underline it. There's really, it's hard to miss that, right? And so look at measure 3 there. We see right, left, right, right. Okay? What is that rudiment? That rudiment is called a double paradiddle. Okay, we know a paradiddle is right, right, or left, left. A double paradiddle is either right, right, or left, left. The double pertains to the para part of the word. Para meaning right, left, or left, right. So I think of a pair of, right? A pair of hands, right, left, okay? So double that, right, left, and then diddle is right, right. So take a look at that. Make sure that we understand what that is as well as play it correctly. Let's count this first, though. This is number 2. Count with me. 1, 2, ready, and count. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 2, 3, and 4. And remember, we see that rest on beat 1 of measure 4. We acknowledge its existence, but we don't count it. Now let's go ahead and air stick that same passage. So, with me, let's do that. Here we go. 1, 2, air stick, go. Right, left, right, left, right, 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 left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, right. So, I want you to notice that we actually did have to use a full stroke in there, okay? And if you're really astute or you've been paying attention, you'll kind of figure out where that is. Where might that full stroke be that we used here? 2 rights or 2 lefts in a row that happened very quickly next to each other. It's in measure 3. It's actually in that double paradiddle that we talked about earlier. So beats 3 and, or 3 te. Let's use a full stroke on beat 3 and a downstroke on the and of 3, or the te of 3, so that we can play those 2 rights in a nice flowing motion without stopping the stick unnecessarily. Now, let's go ahead and play number 2. 1, 2, ready, go. Now we're going to get over to the next page, page 13 in our book. It would be probably pretty smart to go ahead and read through that explanation up top. We're not going to really read that together, but I will say that an important part of that is talking about the 8th rest and saying how it's kind of tricky about where it's placed. Okay, we know that an 8th rest is worth half of a beat of silence. Oftentimes we'll see that placed on a beat, like maybe the 8th rest is placed on beat 1, 2, 3, or 4. But it can also be placed on the upbeat as well. For example, looking at number 7, we've got 4/4 in our time signature, and we've got it counted out up there for us, so it's kind of a little cheat sheet there. But use that to make sure that you've got your counting right. Look at beat 2, and look at the and of 2, or the te of 2. There's an 8th rest there. So let's back up and look at beat 2. Beat 2 is an 8th note, so we know that that lasts for half a beat of sound. And then we've got an 8th rest. That lasts for half a beat of silence. And so you take that half a beat of sound plus half a beat of silence, and you get a full beat that's divided into half a beat of sound and half a beat of silence. Okay? And so that's a lot like a full beat of sound for us, especially since typically whenever we play one note, it's a single staccato short note. So for us, a quarter note and an 8th note next to an 8th rest is the same value, okay? Because a quarter note is a single beat of sound, and an 8th note plus an 8th rest is a single beat of a half beat of sound and a half beat of rest. And so Ken and Wiley does a great job of outlining that here. Let's count that together. This is number 7. 1, 2, ready, count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 2 and 4. 1, 3, 4. And so when we see a quarter note and we see an 8th note and an 8th rest, that sounds the exact same for us. It's just notated a little bit differently. Let's go ahead and air stick this now. With me? 1, 2, ready, go. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left. And of course now, let's go ahead and play through number 7 together. 1, 2, ready, go. Finally, guys, let's take a look at number 13 at the very bottom of the page. This is a pretty long exercise here. In fact, I wouldn't even call it an exercise. I might call this a piece or a song. So let's go ahead and review this together. We see, first of all, our time signature is a 4/4 time signature. So that means, of course, the top 4 is 4 beats per measure, and the bottom 4 means that a quarter note gets 1 beat. And we've got 3 lines here. Looks like each of them has 4 measures. And before we play the piece, we always want to look and see if we can find any interesting figures here. The first interesting thing that I see is measure 3. Looks like we have a bunch of 8th rests and a bunch of upbeat 8th notes. So that's something interesting there. And then, of course, we've got a dotted note on line 3, measure 9. There's a dotted half note. We know that means that since a half note's worth 2 beats, and a dot adds half the value of whatever it's dotting, then half of 2 is 1. That means that dotted half note is worth 3 beats. So that's something to look at. And then finally, another interesting thing that I see is in measure 10, we've got a paradiddle there. And of course, that's outlined as usual by a boldened sticking, an underlined sticking, and it's also italicized. So let's go ahead and count number 13 together. 1, 2, ready, and count. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 3 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 3 and 4. 1, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4. That is a lot. I realize that. And so if you need to pause the video at any time, maybe go 1 measure at a time and then 1 line at a time, that is absolutely okay. But let's go ahead, assuming that we're ready, let's go ahead and air stick this now. Okay? With me? 1, 2, ready, and go. Right, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, 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 right, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, 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 left, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, 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 right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, 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 right, left, right, right, left, left. And something that we didn't mention earlier, but to always remember, is that make sure your pathway is straight up and down. Okay, and then of course all of our little checkpoints for our technique too. Okay, fulcrum, all that good stuff. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and play number 13 together. One, two, ready, go. And guys, that is it for this week. I would strongly recommend spending some more time on snare drum, on drum pad, before we get into step 4A, where we start introducing different notes with these 8th note rhythms. That's just a little bit more complicated. I like to spend another week on just eighth notes in general before we start putting it on the different notes of the keyboard. So, as always, happy drumming, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.